And the small opening makes a big difference. Ang TV po, ang facilities, ang technology, very good wonders of technology. However, let's use it positively. Sideline ko lang po rito, matagal po kami sa telco. Believe you me, hindi ko po binigyan ng cellphone yung mga anak ko. Sabi nga ng dati presidente na, did you deprive them? No, they know technology. Why? Ang point ko nun, may isang hiraman sila. Binigyan ko po sila ng pagdating ng college. Yung medyo maliliit ngayon, yung nabubola ako ngayon, yung mga hand-me-down ko, nakukuha nila. But very responsible because they have to account for it. Kahit may buti na lang, may mga ninong na unlimited na, pwede na rin, no? Pero we monitor. The pace of modern life, ito, everything is instant, everything is so fast. Again, people are always constantly on the go. Go, 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 go. Kasalanan mo po yan. Sabi nga doon sa APE sa akin, oh, you're the typical alpha male. Sige, mauna ka na. Sabi ng doktor ko, kung gusto mo talaga, mauna ka na. Sir, gusto mo talaga mauna? Sige, bahala ka. Kawawa si ma'am. In other words, we have to pace ourselves. Sabi nga sa akin kanina, wala namang gamot dyan. Pero kung gusto mong kumasta, pwede. Lahat magbabara kung gusto mo. Iisip mo, hanggang talampakan, babara yan. Why? On the go kayo lang. Sinabi ko na sa inyo mag-rest eh. O nga naman. So, we know what we have to do. The family is under attack by evil forces. In the book of Peter, be sober and alert, because your enemy, the devil, prowls about like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Yan po, pag nakakita na medyo katulad niyan, nandito kayo, nag-i-invest kayo, naku, maraming tentasyon, maraming haharang sa inyo. Konti lang po pwede kayo mairita. Sarado lang ng kotse, hindi lang napagbukas ng kotse, ng pinto. Lahat siya pwedeng pag-awayan. Lahat ng excuses gagawin natin. Why? Because the family couples who are investing will be under attack by the devil one. Before, I don't say the devil. Then I realize, why would I not say it? Why? Natatakot ako? Hindi. We have to accept there is a devil. And if we will not put ourselves on guard, baka din tingnan nyo ang mga katabi nyo. Baka pag hindi natin na gay, na anyaya, baka yan din ang matitingnan natin ng kakaiba. However, yun po yung sinasabi natin, I don't mean to sound pessimistic, we can do something. Una po, very simple. You have been making a bold decision every time you attend here. Every time you come to Mass. Every time you even say a simple, nice statement to your spouse that we have not been used to our children na nahihiya tayo. Tatay ko po, hindi ko sanay magsabing I love you, probinsyano po yun eh. Ang sabihan po ng I love you doon pag nahihingalo na, Amang, mahal ko po kayo. Patay. Totoo po yun. Nakita ko po yan. Lilong ko, amang ko, nagsasabihan lang ng I love you pag mamamatay na. O kaya ibubuka yung bibig kasi uso pa po yung sa panahon nila, may anting-anting. Kaya hinihanap ko kayo, pustiso pa rin nakita ko doon. Kasi daw may bola daw lumalabas, hinahanap ko na ako, ito na po, ginto ito. Again, what am I emphasizing? In the ball game of life, there is no such thing as last 2 minutes. Kayo, nakikita nyo malakas, bukas makalawa, wala. Sino sa atin ang siguradong gigising bukas, itaas ang kamay? Very good. No, because we can never be too sure. Sorry, quick thing. Nung weekend nga ako, tumitingin kami ng trip. Sabi ng anak ko, why will you buy clip? Sabi ko, look at this, nobody buys 44. Because feng shui daw, ayaw nila ng 44. Sabi ko, baka mura to. Tapos tawanan kami, let's buy the P44. Bakit that? Patay, 44, talaga, dead na dead ka dyan. Sabi ko, murang-mura to, nasa baba pa. Sabi ko, tapos sabi ng youngest ko, but why are we buying that? Look, do you want to go to heaven? Of course! How can you go to heaven if you will not die? But Dad, not now. Sabi niya, do you want to go ahead? No, we'll just buy the crib. Sabi ko, gano'n. But, we discuss. Then natawa lang ako, kaya ako kwento. Akala ko, yung gwardiya, nakatayo lang doon. Nakita ko na isang araw, tinanong ako, Sir, totoo ba yung sinabi niyo? Alin, kaya mamatay para pumunta sa langit? Oo naman! Eh, isipin mo, pag ikaw, paano ka doon pupunta sa langit o sa taas yun? Ba't kininasal eh? I have to tell him. It's nice. The guard, asked and sabi ko, ako masyado tanongin mo si Padre. Si Monsignor, mas marami ko kwento sa iyo. Now, you're taking time. You're investing precious time. If you are able to invest so much time, and look at you. I mean, you are so prosperous. Just imagine an iota of investment for our spirituality, for our family, what you can reap. More than principal, your interest. Now, what do? We have to rationalize our activities. We cannot cover everything altogether. We really have to find time. And to find time is to sacrifice at times our personal activities. Scheduling. Ako, guilty ako dyan kasi ang dami kong gustong gawin ng weekend. Pag weekday, 5:30 gising na ako. Pag weekend, 4:30 gising na ako. Kasi gusto ko mas maraming gawin sa weekend. Kaya pagdating ko Monday, pagod na ako. Sabi ng asawa ko, kaya alam mo na ang result ng APE mo, stress. Oo nga, kasi tapos natutulog ako maximum 5 hours. Again, laking probinsya ko eh, probinsyano tatay ko eh. Weekend ko, sisipain ako, gumising ka. Bakit to? Wala namang kahoy na sisipakin dito, maglinis ka ng kotse. That's our training. I carried it. Before I drove my car, I have to clean the car. Before I go to parties, marunong po ako maglinis ng banyo. At pag naglinis po ako ng banyo, mabango. Pwede niyo pong higaan. Kasi kung hindi, pipinutin ako ng lola ko nun at saka ng mami ko. Kasi bawal yun sa standard nila. Now, you have to plan. Maglo-long weekend for a family recreation. Make sure and desire that you're together. Na-excite po dapat sila pag weekend. Uy! Kahit hindi lalabas, kahit sa bahay. Doon lang mo, masaya na kayo. Ika nga kami, mababaw kaligayahan namin. Pwede mo kami sa isang kwarto, tapos nagbabasa ng libro, doon kami. And then, yung asawa ko tinatanong, merong revalida yung mga bata kung ano yung kanilang insight sa libro. Kaya ako tumatalikod sa kanya kasi wala akong insights. Kaya comics ko yung binabasa. But really, they look forward to it. We definitely try our very best to pray together as a family, and we find a common time. This is a very good way. Right now, we try our very best to pray the rosary regularly, daily. So they wake up for us, or before we come over, we already pray. We fathers, we assume full responsibility. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina, na we have to go beyond being mere providers. And the wives, I'm sure you're very supportive. And we husbands, we have to appreciate that. Tayo kasi parang dapat lang, hindi po. We have to appreciate that now. We also have to read and educate ourselves with Christian books, magazines, and of course, ito pong ginagawa natin. My family, ang ano po dyan, ang realization ko, nag-promotor ko ako mag-migrate sa Canada, naiwan po ako dito. So ang parents ko, siblings ko, except for one who comes back and forth, are all there based in Canada. I could not imagine myself being left here, coming from a very closely knit family. My parents, my siblings, without my brothers and sisters here. That's why I think that's how I have been able to cope when my family all migrated to Canada. because of the community. So, ganun din ako sa pamilya. Medyo minsan maiinis ka, naiinisan nila ako, wala silang magagawa, brother. Kaya minsan madalas magpakain, libre, pag may napo-promote, libre, hindi napo-promote, naglilibre pa rin. Kaya masaya ko dito. Masaya, kalungkot, papakain, gastos. Pero hanggang doon lang po, wala namang ano yan. Now, we look forward really in working with the community. And sabi nga namin, sa family, ulitin ko, we're work in progress. Even the community, don't get me wrong, we're not hard selling the community. But that's why I'm saying, it has been working. There's no such thing as perfect community, no perfect family. But there are indeed, you know, couples, families like us who are work in progress. And now, I think it's better that I transfer it to my wife to make it more meaningful for the evening. My wife, Marisol.
I have to read my notes. I'm not as spontaneous as my husband. But I think we've been very fortunate to have been members of the Couples for Christ when our son was only 3 years old. He was only 3 when we started this CLP with you, what you're doing now. And I think from the very start it has helped us to know God and to keep her at the center of our family life. And CFC has helped us to establish our roles as husbands and wives, and as Joel's read, as wives we have to be submissive, but husbands have to remember not to treat us as slaves, and to love us and as their partners in life. And in our Filipino society, I think it's very maternal, where the mother does everything and the father just takes care of bringing food to the table. But there has to be a balance and a shared responsibility. And I think I'm fairly submissive, but as a wife, I had to remember to give Ruel the role of father and not to do everything for him. As a young wife and mother, I wanted to spare him from chores and rearing the children so that he could concentrate on his career. He didn't have much patience because of the stress at work, so I just took over. But with our teachings from CFC, I've learned that without being forceful about it, I have to let Ruel play this role. Otherwise, he would not be able to establish himself as the head of the family. Yes, we were all submissive to him, but we would just do things without him because he was too busy. And true enough, many times fathers feel today that they are just ATM machines to their children, because the only interaction they have with their children is when the children need money for something to buy. So, Dad, can I have money to buy my shoes, my school supplies? And that's the only interaction they have with the father, is asking for money. Without being too pushy or nagging, we need to encourage our husbands to take part in rearing the children, in allowing him to share his stories and wisdom, in participating in their activities and school life, and most especially in leading the way to the Lord so that they are not viewed as ATM machines, but more of adoring teacher mentors, the way the disciples saw Jesus as they interacted with him. In our family life, Ruel leads us in prayer whenever it is before meals, or in the car when he's taking a trip, every night when we play the rosary, or when he blesses the children as they go off from the house. And when our kids were young children, it seemed hard to leave the kids to go to a prayer meeting because they wanted us to stay home. But they got used to it, and they saw that we were making God a priority. So it's hard to leave the house sometimes, but they got used to it. And it helped them, because they know, for example, they know which day of the week we have prayer meetings, and they know if they need help with their project or homework. So we tell them ahead of time, you need to tell us ahead of time so that we can help you, because we really are going to our prayer meetings. And so this taught them that God was important, and at the same time, it disciplined them to be organized and responsible for their own learning. And this isn't always easy to do, but it can be done. When you are with CFC, there are fewer worries. And why do I say this? Because in every situation, we learn to do our part and trust God that He will take care of everything else. If it weren't for CFC, I don't think Ruel and I would have been prepared to allow our 2 older children to go to the U.S. for college. But because we know they are responsible and well-grounded in their faith, it has been a lot easier for us to let them go. Again, it is because of what we have learned from CFC that we're able to bring our children closer to God, and for them to not just be Sunday Mass goers, but to truly practice the faith in their day-to-day lives. And it's easy to get lost in the fast pace of life and for your spirituality to wane or to take a back seat. But because we're members of CFC, we have a constant reminder to place God as the center of our lives. And every week we're reminded to do this. So whether you already have an empty nest, or older children in their 20s, or young children who are toddlers, or children to come, it's never too late to show that God can be the center of your family life. So many things from CFC will show you how to go about this. Things do not always go smoothly, but